Over the past decade, the CTA has undertaken some major construction projects and throughout developed methods to keep riders moving. Capacity expansion of the Brown Line, replacement of viaducts along the Purple Line in Evanston, upgrades to power and signal systems along the Dan Ryan branch of the Red Line, the rebuilding of what is now known as the Pink Line. Completed and ongoing infrastructure improvements are critical to a thriving transit system. Major renovation projects are huge undertakings. CTA has completed a number of successful overhauls of the system. It's all in the planning and the CTA's commitment to efficient transit, no matter what the challenge.
Any kind of transportation construction is always a challenge because we want to keep our customers moving, but we also need to build, replace, and renew the infrastructure.
So we have to determine when can we do the work, when would we have to shut something down, maybe temporarily, and how can we keep the system running throughout the course of the project.
The Brown Line Capacity Expansion Project is one example of a recent large-scale project. That project gave riders longer trains and accessible stations.
Trains continued to run throughout the construction, even at our two busiest stations, Belmont and Fullerton. We implemented a three-track operation where we took one track out of service in order to reconstruct that track at both the Belmont and Fullerton stations. And then we were able to run the trains on the other three tracks and continue to run our service to keep people moving.
In a project where there are only two tracks for service, the CTA may move to single-track operation during a project.
We have temporary single tracks once in a while in order to do certain activities, but for the most part, trains continue to run 24/7, and the construction work is built right next to it.
Weekend work was key during the reconstruction of the 54th Cermak branch along the Blue Line, which is now the Pink Line. Rather than tear down the crumbling line, riders were given new accessible stations, faster travel times, and weekend service was added.
There was no scheduled service on the weekends at the time we did the project, so we did the majority of the track structure replacement during those weekends and then opened the line back up Monday morning for regular service during the week.
The CTA met the challenge of keeping service running during upgrades along the Red Line a few years back by piggybacking on the Dan Ryan construction project. Riders now enjoy more reliable service and upgraded stations on the branch, which runs right down the middle of the Dan Ryan Expressway.
We were working with IDOT on their reconstruction of the Dan Ryan, so we coordinated with them on using some of their shoulder lanes so we could put our tracks on there, keep our trains running around our areas where we had to do work.
Service disruptions have been minimal during the ongoing reconstruction of the Grand State Red Line subway station and the renovation of the Cermak Chinatown station. An auxiliary entrance was built off Archer to offset any inconvenience to riders during the Cermak Chinatown project.
So there was a case where the reconstruction really was dictated by adding this new auxiliary entrance, which at the end of the day also reflected the growth in the neighborhood and the ability of the neighborhood to have greater access to their stations.
Work is underway on a new elevated station in one of Chicago's fastest growing neighborhoods, the West Loop.
Morgan is a new station that we're putting in on the green and pink lines, so we're able to keep service running through that area while we build the station around it.
The most dramatic engineering feats used to avoid lengthy service disruptions are those that involve viaduct and bridge replacements. This time-lapse video from 2006 shows how the CTA replaced the deteriorating viaduct at the Church Street stop in Evanston in a span of just 48 hours.
If we didn't roll in a new bridge structure, we would have to take the line out of service for probably several months in order to just build a new bridge. We construct the bridge off to the side, and then when it's ready to be rolled in, we shut the line down for one weekend, demolish the old bridge, install the new one, and then put the tracks back on and have it ready for service on Monday morning.
Engineering ingenuity, best practices, and meticulous planning keep CTA customers moving during even the most complex capital improvement projects, and provide better service, modern stations, and an overall better travel experience.
We look for ways to do the project that not only gets the work done, but also minimizes impact on the customers while delivering the project at a reasonable price.